Okay, so the new Ranger subclass is so powerful that just by reading it on the page, I went blind. And honestly, it's kind of worth it. This thing is crazy. In fact, this whole new Unearthed Arcana is ridiculously strong. The new Hexblade is kind of broken, and there's a new Artificer, the first one in 6 years. But first, we gotta talk about this new Ranger, or as it will soon be known, Article 1 in the court case of why I murdered all my players. Level 3, you get some good spells, whatever. Also at level 3, you get Wrath of the Wild. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you also transform, gaining some benefits. Number 1, you get a bonus to your AC equal to your Wisdom modifier. Stop! This is crazy. Think about this. You're level 3 with 16 in Wisdom, easy to reach 16 in Wisdom, and you have half plate and a shield. This gives you 22 AC, except you get a fighting style at level 2, and you pick defense, which gives you 23 AC. Except you get a free origin feat at level 1, and you take magic initiate, grabbing the shield spell. That's an on-demand AC of 28. At level 3 as a ranger with a D10 hit dice. And you're not sacrificing anything here. This is a normal stat spread as a ranger. This isn't a meme or a weird build. You would do this by accident. And that's with no magic items, and before we get silly with multi-class options, like grabbing a level in Monk for unarmored defense and the ability to also dodge as a bonus action. Second benefit, whenever an enemy starts its turn within 10 feet of you, it needs to make a wisdom save, and on a failed save, it can only take an action or a bonus action on its next turn. Now sure, most enemy stat blocks don't actually have bonus actions, but some of them do, and for those specifically, this is brutal. Obviously, this subclass is ridiculous. I don't know what they are smoking over at Wizards of the Coast, but I would love some. This is also how you make Rangers playable, right? The only way this could be better is if your DM had to give you $10 each time you cast it. Level 7, you get hit points back when you hit an enemy with an attack, and you get a bonus to your con saves equal to your Wisdom modifier. That sounds pretty amazing for concentration spells, but in practice it's not that great, because you're going to be concentrating on Hunter's Mark, and you get a feature later which means you can't lose concentration on it anyway. Still, the healing is good if you do ever get hit, which you won't, but you know, let's pretend that you will. In theory, it's good. Level 11 feature is called Rot and Violence, which is already cool, and it gives more benefits to your transformation. They're okay. You deal a little bit of extra damage, you get an extra weapon mastery property when you hit an enemy within 10 feet of you. Finally, at level 15, when you fall to 0 hit points while transformed, you can expend a spell slot of 4th level or above to regain hit points equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot you expend. It's okay, especially because this ranger specifically is probably not bothering with many high-level spells, because for you, Hunter's Mark is crazy, it's only 1st level, and it's eating your concentration. Although, once again, are you ever gonna really fall to 0 hit points? Your AC is 31 at this level, without any magic items? This subclass is fine. It's very average power level, except the AC boost makes it absolutely crazy. Again, 28 AC at level 3, with no shenanigans, no magic items, with any species. Hell, you could have 29 AC if you play a Warforged. At level 3! This is S tier. It's very silly. It's almost certainly broken. I would love to get down and dirty with this and spend time working out the maths and do some kind of freaky Blade Singer multiclass thing. See if we can get that AC to like 36 or above. But as ridiculous as all this is, the new Hexblade 3rd level feature might be even crazier. Let's talk about what they did to the most popular subclass in the game. Okay, I got a 23 on my investigation check. How many MILFs are in this village? Well, I'm sorry, pal, but there's no MILFs in this village. God damn it! But there is a missing sector of Dragon Command, and it's been stolen. Pass! I don't care. On to the next town. If you only hunt MILFs and travel from town to town, there's no room for adventures, dude! Finding MILFs on the open road is the adventure, dude! Wait, that's it! What? I can make the travel the epic adventure, cause I have this! Is it Xanathar's Guide to MILFs? Better, it's Encounters at a Glance! Into the Wild! Into the Wild is a book that turns travel in D&D into an epic experience that brings your world to life and forges bonds between players. It makes travel days an exciting part of any D&D game, with role-playing events to get players connecting with each other and encounters to bring your world and dangers to life. It's in a dopamine-inducing scratch and tear format, where you scratch off and reveal random encounters in front of your players to see what puzzle or encounter befalls them. Each encounter even comes with multiple story hooks to get your players frothing at the mouth to dive into every adventure. 101 encounters, 4 biomes, stat blocks, NPCs, mini quests, and more. Grab it all with Encounters at a Glance into the Wild. Out now on Kickstarter, link in description. So the Hexblade Warlock used to be the big daddy of multiclassing because it came online at level 1 and it let you attack using your charisma modifier. Except now, all Warlocks can do that, thanks to the new version of Pact of the Blade. So what do Watsy do with the Hexblade now? Let's find out. For a start, you can cast Hex a number of times per day equal to your charisma modifier. There is no Hexblade's Curse feature anymore, it's just Hex. Sadly, there's no more expanded critical hit range, which is a real shame, but the multiple uses per day thing is good. That was the Hexblade's biggest weakness before. However, it now requires concentration, and that is kind of brutal. But you do get some bonus effects. Now, when you hit the target of your Hex with an attack, you can cause one of the following effects. The target has to pass a con save or its speed is halved and it can't make opportunity attacks until the end of your next turn. Not bad. The target must pass a wisdom save or take damage equal to your charisma modifier the next time it attacks a target other than you. I mean, sure, that's an okay taunt effect, I guess. Now let me just take a big drink of water before looking at the final option. What? The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn. Watsy, we've been through this. Forcing enemies to have disadvantage on any saving throw is always crazy. It's okay as a concept. I've made a subclass that can do it too, but it needs to require an initial saving throw. Otherwise, it's just completely exploitable. All this requires is any attack roll to hit. Throw down silvery barbs as backup, #magic initiate origin feat, and you can give any enemy double disadvantage on any save in the game. The number of spells that just instantly win any combat encounter if they go through is high, and this forces them through. There is no limit, it happens every turn with no resource cost, and you don't even need to hit them with a weapon attack. You can Eldritch Blast them from 90 feet away and trigger this. Look, all I'm saying is this. A lot of monsters are mysteriously going to have a lot more legendary resistances if you play this in your games. At 6th level, the old Hexblade's got one of my favorite features, Accursed Spectre, where you steal the soul of someone you kill and force them to work for you for a few hours. Very cool, very capitalism. I like it. The new Hexblade gets Life Stealer, which is way more boring. Whenever the target cursed by your Hex drops to 0 hit points, you regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your charisma modifier. Once again, we have an entry into the competition called Who Can Make the Fiend Warlock But Worse. Don't like this one personally, but there is more at this level. Inevitable Blade says even when you miss an attack roll against the target of your Hex, you still deal damage equal to your charisma modifier. It's okay. It's kind of like the Gray's weapon mastery property, but for Eldritch Blast. Don't let the name fool you. Despite being called Inevitable Blade, this has absolutely nothing to do with swords. These features are very mid, both in terms of flavor and in terms of power. Level 10 is Armor of Hexes. The old version said whenever you're hit by an attack, you get to roll 1d6, and on a 4 or higher, that attack just misses. This was kind of cracked. It let you dodge even critical hits half the time. The new one says when you take damage from your hexed creature, you can roll 2d8 plus 5 and reduce the damage by that amount. Oh no. It's mid. It's worse than before, it's less unique. Level 14 is Masterful Hex, and this should be good, because the old Hexblade Warlock just let you move your Hexblade's curse around, and we don't need to do that anymore, so it's all new. The new one says whenever you make an attack roll against the creature you've hexed, you score a critical hit on a 19 or a 20. But we got that at level 1 before. Okay, let's keep reading. We also can't drop concentration on Hex, except we didn't need concentration for Hexblade's curse before. This is new. You added the concentration. The only actual new feature that the old Hexblade didn't get at level 1 is that you can deal 1d6 damage to a creature within 30 feet of your hexed target. Once per turn, 1d6 necrotic damage if there's a creature within 30 feet of your target, remember, for a 14th level feature. Okay, so first things first, right? The 3rd level feature to give any creature disadvantage on any saving throw is bonkers. However, the rest of this Hexblade is just kind of bad. All the cool, unique features have been standed off to be this generic nothing subclass. No more Hexblade's Curse, no more Accursed Spectre, Armor of Hexes is super generic now, and there is nothing here at all that has anything to do with being a Hex blade. There is no reason to use a weapon as this warlock. Everything is also based around the spell Hex, which is a concentration spell. This is the same problem that rangers have with Hunter's Mark, except it's worse for warlocks because you have way better spells as your options. Honestly, this is the worst type of broken subclass, where it's mostly boring, but it has one completely overtuned feature which exclusively enables nonsense broken shenanigans. Honey, you need to put him back in that oven. He is not done. To me, this feels like they're not sure what to do with the Hexblade after giving its best feature to the Pact of the Blade invocation. Honestly, I think this just needs to kind of be reworked from the ground up. Make it super rewarding to attack with a weapon as a warlock. It's going to be challenging. We got to come up with new ideas, but we need to do better than this. If the Hexblade drops like this, it would be the single biggest fall off a subclass has had between 2014 and 2024. It would go from possibly the most popular subclass in the game, definitely top 3, to just nothing. Okay, I know, that's a lot of negativity, but don't worry, we got a new Frankenstein-inspired Artificer to talk about, and this guy's pretty cool. Level 3, Reanimated Artificer gives you some spooky spells. There's nothing too crazy here, except the 2024 Witch Bolt is a pretty great damaging spell for Artificers. Catapult was your best damaging option for a first level spell until now. You also get Jolt to Life at level 1, letting you cast Spare the Dying and give the target 1 hit point when you use it, so you bring them back into the fight, not just stabilize them. It also deals a little bit of damage to nearby enemies when you cast it, and this isn't bad for a few uses per day cantrip. It does cost an action though, and you have a much better use for your action, because you can use one to create a reanimated companion. It's got all the usual companion stuff. It takes its turn on your turn, it does nothing except dodge unless you use a bonus action to command it to do something else. As far as a companion stat block goes, it's okay. It's a little weaker than the Battlesmith Artificer companion in terms of raw stats, but it has advantages of its own. It explodes when it dies, dealing necrotic damage, and it regains hit points when it takes lightning damage. Technically, because it's immune to lightning damage, it would never regain any hit points, but I do see what they meant to do here. It also has a melee attack which does a small amount of necrotic damage, and if it hits, the target can't take opportunity attacks until the start of its next turn. The remaining levels basically go all in on making the companion better. You can do stuff like cast your spells from its space, you can make it large, you can give it a climb speed or a swim speed, etc. Finally, at level 15, you get Facilitated Revival, which lets you half the material cost for resurrection spells like Revivify, which is kind of meh. I mean, maybe if your DM is super brutal, this will come in useful, but at level 15, you should be drowning in gold. You can also use a reaction when you take damage to kill your reanimated companion, making it blow up and deal damage to surrounding enemies, and you regain hit points equal to your Artificer level. So this subclass is pretty all in on the companion stuff, but it's also kind of great. If your companion dies, you can bring it back with another action and any spell slot, and it comes back at full hit points. This represents an insane amount of tanking power, and it's nice flavor as you've got this unkillable undead abomination that keeps rising from the grave and clubbing enemies to death. This seems like a great Artificer. I love that you can position your corpse in front of enemies as it clubs them and then cast lightning bolt through it, dealing damage to all of them while healing your pet zombie. That's a cool combo. The other subclasses in this UA aren't too different from their OG versions. There's the Shadow Sorcerer, the Grave Cleric, the Phantom Rogue, and the Undead Warlock. It's all minor tweaks, nothing crazy. And on the theme of spooky subclasses, here's another one, the Deathcaller Bard. I've linked it here, go download it. It's free, gosh dang it, enjoy. I made it a while back. It frightens enemies, it sings songs, it raises the dead, typical horror bard shenanigans. It's really fun. Please enjoy it, and consider supporting on Patreon too. Thanks to the support of people like you, we donate 50% of all YouTube ad revenue to charity. There's tons of awesome rewards for everyone who supports, and every member is hugely impactful in helping us keep going. Also remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you next time.